Good morning, students. Today we will discuss about the three-level architecture of database management system. Till now, we know that in database management system that keeps database files. The files that keeps different records, and again records keeps different fields. Fields really stores the data values or items. And in this system, we are accessing data in a proper manner. So to access the data, first of all, you have to store in a particular specific order so that you can easily access. For example, I will take before going to this three-level architecture of database management system. I am going for a bank system. In banking, what happens? Money are being deposited, and account holder can receive money from the bank, but directly a bank account holder directly cannot take a cash from bank without bank employees. So in a level there is some account holder, in another level there is a cash deposited in the box, and another in between this account holder and money there is in between these two level there is a bank employees. So through bank employees or through banking system, account holder can receive money from bank, can deposit money into the bank. So overall I am going to tell there are three levels. In one level architecture, in one level there is an account holder. In bottom level there is some cash is deposited. That is in between, this is external level and bottom level, that is cash, there is another level, that is conceptual. So according to this concept, we can define different levels architecture of database management system. So this three-level architecture can be also termed as three-level schema or three-schema architecture. This is otherwise known as three-schema architecture. Three schema, I will tell what is schema. So three schema architecture or three-tier architecture or three-tier architecture. Three schema, three-tier architecture or the three-level architecture of database management system. This concept was initially first proposed in 1975. So this system, this architecture planning is also called as ANSI or SPA architecture. Which is the first proposed in 1975. ANSI and Spark architecture first proposed by 1975. So ANSI is your American National Standard Institute, whereas Spark is the standard planning and requirement committee. ANSI, American National Standard Institute, and SPARC, Standard Planning and Requirement Committee. This architecture was proposed in 1975. So this is the total overall design. How to give the design of a database management system? That is the architecture. It is nothing but the framework. Basically, it is the framework. This framework describes about the logical structure of the database management system. This framework describes the logical structure the how logically we are accessing, how to access, what are the data to be stored, how data to be stored, how to retrieve, how to give safe security. All things are logically defined in this three-level architecture of database management system. Okay. So it is nothing but the framework. So this gives the structure of the specific database system. It gives the structure of specific database system. This framework is nothing but the structure, give the structure, explain the structure of a specific database system. Okay. Now, this three schema architecture is also used to separate user application and standard database. So, really, this database management systems architecture is divided into three levels. One is your internal level, three levels. Broadly, three levels. One is your internal level, then conceptual level, then external level. So this architecture, the three-level architecture has three levels, internal level, conceptual level and external level. Here, in internal level, that is the physical level, where database are stored, database files are stored internally, physically. Then external level, there is some user level or user setting. What user are accessing from database management system, that will be from external level. And in between internal level and external level, there is a conceptual level, that is for global view. Global view or cognitive view. So in physical level, all records internally stored. How these records are stored? The records will be stored in database management systems file. How it will be stored? How it will be accessed? Which data should be the constant value that must be stored? Everything will be considered in this. So each level of this three-level architectures of DBMS or ANSI Spark architecture or three schema architecture, each level is described by its corresponding schema. Okay. So a schema working in internal level, that is an internal schema. The schema that describes the internal level, that is your internal schema, and conceptual level is described by its conceptual schema. Similarly, external level is described by its external schema that describes the external level. So each level is being described by its corresponding schema. Now, question that what is schema? Okay, what is schema? Schema is a outline or a plan. Schema is a outline or a plan. It can be overall design of the database. In the overall design of the database system is your schema. The schema is a outline or a plan. Is an outline or plan that describes different records and relationship between them. This outline or plan describes records and their relationship, how records are related. Okay. The schema is a systematic plan. It is a plan. It is a systematic plan or future plan that describes how records are related with each other. And the view at each level is described by a schema. A schema is an outline or a plan that describes the records and relationships. So overall database management systems layers are being described by its corresponding schema. Okay. This is the basic concept of this architecture. The architecture, there are three types of architecture because there are three levels: an internal level, conceptual level, and external level. And again, each overall design of this database management system of the three levels are described by the corresponding schema. So overall design, logical design, overall design of the database management system is done by this schema. So schema is working in internal level, schema is working in external level, schema is also working in conceptual level. Each level is described by its corresponding schema. Okay. Then come to the diagram for this three-level architecture. Then diagram for this three-level architecture. By considering these three levels, schema are working in three levels. Okay. Now you see the diagram. View 1, view 2, view 3. These are the external level. This is the external level. Or you can call as the multiple users view. Multiple users view, or you can call it a users view. Then in between there is a conceptual level. Conceptual level and internal level. Then database. This is the global view. Global view. Community view. This is the internal view. Physical representation. To see external level, this is the conceptual level. This is the internal level. Three level: external level, conceptual level, internal level. External level are different the users view. We give the users view. User can see different record of values from database management system. So this level is being described by the external level schema. So this users view or multiple users view level is being described by its corresponding schema. That means this schema is responsible what to give information to a specific user. Okay. Then this conceptual level is being described by the conceptual level or schema. Or schema is working in conceptual level. So the schema working in conceptual level that expresses that describes the conceptual level, how to store. In this level, database administrator, different programmers are working. That is the global level. Then come to this internal level. Internal level is also being described by internal level schema. So schema is working with three levels: external level, conceptual level, and internal level. Each level is described by its corresponding schema. Okay. So this is the physical representations how records are being stored in database. Database is a physical representation. So globally and users view, this is upper two levels. Last level is a physical representation where records that are values are being stored. Okay. So here you see how these records, these values, these items will be accessed by different users. These users. So there is a mapping. There are two mapping. One mapping is the conceptual level with the external level. Another mapping is conceptual level to internal level. So there is a two mapping we have in this three-level architecture of database management system. Suppose a user want to extract some values from database management system. So this user suppose want to access particular records. That records are being stored suppose this database file stores these values. So these values cannot be directly accessed by this user because this is the external. This user is the external user. The user wants to access some records, some values which is stored in this database. So how to access? First you have to give request to this conceptual level. So there is a mapping between the external level and conceptual level. There is a mapping to the external level to this conceptual level. This mapping, external and conceptual level mapping. External and conceptual level mapping. Then conceptual level sends same request to access that particular record to internal level. So there is a mapping between conceptual level, and internal level mapping. So these two mapping, one is external conceptual mapping and another is conceptual internal level mapping. These two mapping, request will come into this user's view. User's view sends the request to transform this request to this level, conceptual level. So there is a mapping. Nothing is relation. There should be a relation. Then conceptual level want to access values, records that is stored in this database. That will be mapped with this internal level. So there is another mapping, conceptual and internal level mapping. So in these two mappings are there. In the two mapping that external to conceptual and conceptual to internal. Then in internal schema accept the request from this conceptual level. So this schema determines how or which records and how it will be accessed from this database. And in the reverse way, then from internal level again sends the result to the conceptual level, again conceptual level sends the result to particular or specific user or specific. So this is the user's view and this is the global, this level, in this level schema working in this level that determines the overall database management system, overall architecture of this database management system. And again, internal level that is responsible to the physical representations, how data will be stored, physical storage structure of the different records. So three level architecture is most important. So one by one we will discuss these three levels. First one is the internal level. Internal level, the physical storage structure of the database. This is otherwise known as physical schema. The schema working in this internal level is your physical schema. That is the internal schema, physical schema or internal schema. This is a model which is used to define that how data will be stored, in which order it will be stored. So it contains the definition of the stored records and method of representing the data fields and access at use. How data will be stored, how data will be accessed by different users, that will be considered in this case. So this is the physical representation or physical storage structure of this level is determined by this physical schema. Different records are coming with different files. Different files is required to be stored in computer memory or storage device or secondary storage device. How these records will be stored, how different values are being stored, and how to access, that will be determined with this layer. This layer means the schema is working in this layer, is responsible, it describes that. Then come to conceptual level. In the conceptual level, there is the global view or commutative view. This schema working in this level describes how data will be stored, how conceptual level will be logically defined. So this is known as logical level. This is also known as logical level. This level is also known as logical level. Similarly, this is the physical level, this is the logical level. This conceptual level is the logical level, this internal level is the physical level. So logical level described by its corresponding schema. This conceptual schema describes the whole structure of the database system. This conceptual schema working this conceptual level describes the whole structure of the database system. This level, internal details and how to implement data structure are hidden. So this level hides, because user is the external user. He wants to access a records. How data are stored here, how to access, that will be not exposed to this user. Because conceptual level knows the overall structure, the entire database. If it knows how to access a particular record from particular database file that stores in a particular block of a specific storage device, so that thing it knows only. Does not convey this secret information, this confidential information to the external user. So this level contains information about the entire database in terms of small number of relatively simple structure. There is a programmer, database administrator. All, for example, in banking system, bank employees, all bank managers, all bank employees are working in this concept. So to consider, these are the account holder. This is the banking employees, all employees of the bank system. This is the cash where money is being deposited. So user can access money through this bank employees, this bank system. That is the concept. So normal account holder should not know how many account holders, how many accounts exist in this bank. That cannot be conveyed to the account, particular account holder. That particular account holder, in user view, that particular user can only able to know, they are authorized to know only information regarding that particular account holder. So in this level that will give the overall structure, the entire structure of the database management system that gives required information to the authorized users properly or authenticated. So in this way, this conceptual level has an important role in the 3-level architecture of this database management system. So last one is your external level. External level is the user view. That user shows what are the records that will be accessed from the database management system. So database contains several schemas from these sub-schemas. So schemas that describes in this external level, that is the sub-schema or external level schema. External level schema is also termed as sub-schema. Okay. Then come to external schema is also known as view schema or sub-schema. Each view schema describes database as a part or portion of certain users application program. So it has a portion of database. There portion of database that user want to access particular information, particular data from this database management system. The external schema contains the method of deriving the objects of external view. In the external view, in this year, it derive the objects. What to access, what to get information, with the what objects to receive information from this level that will be given. Okay. So in this way, this is the importance of 3-level architecture, but in the ANSI Spark architecture, which was first released in 1975. This overall design, it has several levels, and the concept of give the concept of a schema. Schema is nothing but the plan, a systematic plan, or a long-term plan. It is a outline that describes the entire database. So each schema is working in each level. 3 level, that is external level, conceptual level, internal level. So each level is described by its corresponding schema. Schema is responsible how to access, what to give information, all the things. So in the external level, users get information from conceptual level. Okay, so there are so many users, so many views are there. So user can send a request to this conceptual level. Conceptual level schema is working here. That schema sends that particular request to the internal level. In the internal level, there is working the internal schema. That internal schema knows how records, how data values are being stored in the computer memory or the database system. So it has a secondary storage devices. Database files are stored in the database secondary storage device or database files. You know how to access what are the required information to access from this level. You know this schema knows how to get information, how to point out that particular block where that particular record is being stored during mapping with this. So this internal level has mapping with this conceptual level. This internal level schema sends that and result or output to this conceptual level. So as request is coming to from external level to conceptual level, then from conceptual level to internal level, that particular record are being stored in this database. That particular result, that database file or source file concept will coming from internal level to conceptual level. Then again this conceptual level sends same that users want to access to the user. So in this way, user are accessing values or records from internal level to this level. So there are 3 views are also there. So this is the user view, the global view. Because this level in this schema working in this level, conceptual level, controls overall structure of this database management system. Okay. So this is the overall structure of the 3-level architecture of database management system. Okay. So there is important 2 questions. First question will be, what is the objective of this 3-level architecture? This 3-level architecture. What is the important objective? Another question may come, that is what are the benefits or advantages of this 3-level architecture? You think objectives of this 3-level architecture and advantages of this 3-level architecture. Okay, thanks.